Hi, my name is Nick Weiss. I am the founding attorney and managing attorney of Weiss Law in South Euclid and Elyria. I want to talk about step-parent adoptions. Step-parent adoptions are a process through your county's probate court to, as the name suggests, have a step-parent co-adopt with the biological parent that they've married, a minor child. This can be done at any time after the marriage between the biological parent and the new step parent. And the initial steps are fairly simple. It's a petition to the probate court saying, I would like to adopt this child. I am married to their father or mother, and I want to proceed there. The step parent obviously needs to get the biological parent's consent, and has to submit to a background check, a full background check, a full home study. That is a person from the courts, typically a social worker, will come out and interview the step parent, interview the biological parent, interview the children, make sure that the home is appropriate, and make sure that this is something that actually would be of best interest to the minor child. The initial hurdle in any step-parent adoption, as you might guess, is the other biological parent. That is the parent that they're not in a relationship with. In Ohio, consent of that other biological parent can be waived, and it can be waived in one of three ways. The most direct way is a actual physical waiver. They can sign a document saying, I waive my rights to contest this step-parent adoption, and I consent to the step-parent adoption. The other two ways are a little bit harder to establish, but certainly can be done and are done in most step-parent adoptions. One is from the time that the petition for step-parent adoption is filed, that other biological parent, 1 year prior to that filing, and through that year, has either failed to provide any kind of support beyond any kind of de minimis support. That's money. That's monetary support to the minor child. And that can be true either with a child support order that they've just failed to pay, or without a child support order, right? Even if there's no child support order, they still have a duty to support. And if they haven't done that for a whole year prior to the petition, they have waived their right to object to that step-parent adoption. The other way that they can waive that is, again, through that year period, failing to have any meaningful time with the minor child, what we call more than de minimis time with the minor child, more than a phone call, more than a brief weekend, something like that. If you've effectively abandoned the child for a year, then you also waive your right to object to this step-parent adoption. So those are the three ways in which that consent may be waived. You don't need it. You can proceed to the next part of the step-parent adoption. And if that consent is waived, the next part is really happy. It's really easy. Presumably, you have passed that background check. Presumably, your home study went well. And so it's just about putting on testimony. The court has to find, is this step-parent adoption in the best interest of that minor child? Taking a totality of the circumstances, looking at everything, looking at the wishes of the minor child, the wishes of the biological parent and the step parent, the home environment, etc., etc. These hearings are usually pretty perfunctory and a lot of fun, and they're frankly my favorite part of practicing. In Cuyahoga County, the judges will often bring a cute little backpack for the minor child. They'll have pictures, they'll put it up. They'll bring some toys. It's a lot of fun. So this can take a little bit, and that's mostly to preserve the rights of the other biological parent, make sure that they have appropriate notice, make sure there's appropriate waiver, etc., etc. If you have that waiver, process is pretty quick. You're looking at 3 to 6 months. If you don't have that waiver, if they're going to contest this, if you're going to fight about this, this can last up to a year, right? So it's very important and, in fact, advisable that you proceed only when you've met one of those three waiver requirements. The most common challenge really is making sure that you can get beyond those objections by that other biological parent. So that is step-parent adoption in a nutshell. We can certainly talk more about contested step-parent adoption, which is this whole other thing, which we'll address in another video. But if you're looking for advice, you're looking for assistance in adopting your stepchild or assistance in having your new spouse adopt your biological child, please feel free to give us a call.